Hello, my name is Chris McLeod, and welcome to a MindStream Analytics presentation on Oracle PBCS security. Adding users and configuring security and access are done from two different pages. The My Services environment is where you will add users. Oracle Cloud has this section for adding users if you happen to have multiple Oracle Cloud products or environments. We will configure security further in the Oracle PBCS environment directly. In My Services, you can click on the Navigator and Users to take you to the Manage Users page. Here, you can add or remove users and define a primary role for the Oracle PBCS environment. Admin users will have full access to the environment no matter what security is set up further in Oracle PBCS. All other users will have no access to the system initially until the security is defined further. Moving to your Oracle PBCS environment or the service URL, access control is where we will define the security groups, if any, beyond the primary roles of power user, user, and viewer, or the service administrator role. Additional groups can be added, and users can be added to these groups. You can view the role assignment report to view all users and the security groups each user is a part of. Creating the groups alone does not assign security to them. We will later further assign security to the groups in the next steps. It's recommended as a best practice to create all groups needed for security so that you do not need to assign access at the individual level, and you can simply add users to the groups they should have access to. Adding security by dimensions is the primary location for defining security. We can add security by individual accounts or groups of accounts, subsidiaries, departments, locations, and any other dimension or custom dimension that is added to the tool. In order to add security to a dimension itself, you can click on the pencil icon in the top row next to the dimension dropdown. Select the dimension you want to edit and then select the pencil. In this example, we selected account, and it brought us to another page where we checked off the box to apply security to this dimension. This now enables security to be set at the account level. For our example, I would like to set up security on the entire income statement chart of accounts. To assign security, we will select on income statement, and then in the top of the page, we will click the icon for assign access. This will open a page which shows you which users or groups have access to the income statement. Again, as a best practice, we would like to assign access to a group, but Oracle PBCS gives us the option to provide individual users access if necessary. Select on groups and click the big green Add button. This will bring you to a new page to select the group to assign access to. We could assign access to the users by those primary roles. But in this example, I created a group called income statement. So it's clearly labeled, and in access control, I can add users to the income statement group. And it will give those users access right there in access control to the income statement. There are also different types of access we can apply, by selecting read-only or write access, or we can set it as no access. The no access comes in handy as a visualization primarily. I could create a group called no income statement and make sure that none is selected when I apply security to this group, and any user in that group will have no access. However, if a user simply doesn't have access to a group that has income statement access, they would not have access to the income statement. The last drop-down box is to select the members. I can add it so they can only see the income statement top level, or as I selected in this example, descendants inclusive. It is providing access to the income statement level itself and all the accounts and roll-ups within the income statement. After we have added access to the income statement, we can see in this next screenshot that security was added to the income statement. For all other items in this list, there has been no security setup. This means that besides admin users, any other user will have no access to any other item except the income statement if they are part of the income statement security group. Once security is enabled on a dimension, you will need to assign access to each item that you wish users to be able to see. The second piece where security can be added is to the forms. This is all of the reports that exist in the web environment of Oracle PBCS. Applying security to dimensions adds one level of security by limiting any report in the web to only viewing the dimensions the user has access to in the report. But they can still see the report if they have access to some dimensions in that report. Adding security to the reports will completely remove or add access to the report altogether. Whether they only have access to some of the dimensions or all the dimensions, you can apply security to the entire report. One of the most common examples would be the workforce reports. In the application itself, users might have access to certain subsidiaries across all the reports. But we can lock down the workforce report completely so it's not seen at all, even though they have access to the certain subsidiaries with employees within those workforce reports. This covers the key steps for applying security to your Oracle PBCS environment. Create security groups and assign access in the dimensions or the forms to these security groups. Finally, assign users to the groups created in access control. For further information, contact your MindStream professional to further assist. Thank you.